The Sunrise Interview is sponsored by Elk Valley Casino, Crescent City.
Welcome back. Now, joining us this morning is Becky Chong, one of the few people tasked with preserving the 154-year-old wood house just north of Eagle Point. Good morning, Becky.
Good morning.
Now, 154 years is a lot of ground to cover, but can you give us an idea of what makes the wood house so special?
Well, you're absolutely right. It's old. And I think one of the things that makes it special is it's such an iconic piece of the Rogue Valley. People may not know what it's called, but it's almost instantly recognizable once they see it. They're like, oh, I know where that's at. We have people from all over the country, all over the world sometimes, as far away as Australia, coming over to see the house. It's one of the most photographed houses in the Pacific Northwest. And I think one of the things that also makes it special is that history. It was built in 1870 by a man named Marvin Wood, and he fought in the Civil War. After the Civil War, he came out to Oregon and he built this homestead. Wow. And his family lived there. Another thing with it being special is I feel like anybody who knows that house has memories tied to that house, and they're not afraid to share them. I go on Facebook, I go on social media, I see someone post a picture of the wood house, and there are so many comments underneath it going, I remember when I rode by that on the bus on my way to school. I remember Walter Wood, who was one of the sons, hanging out on the front porch. It seems to have a good commonality in the valley. Mm-hmm. People enjoy it, they love it, and they love to remember it.
It seems like it has sort of a magnetic energy about it, and you're one of just 3 people that work to maintain it. Mm-hmm. What keeps you coming back to it?
Short answer, my dad. So my parents and I are part of the nonprofit that help operate the house. And same with everybody else who remembers the house. I have memories too. And I remember being a kid. My dad's totally into history. He loves any antique, anything in the valley, anything in the world, you know, that is historical. And I remember going with him as a kid to the house when it was in the state where it was falling down. Wow. And just seeing it and seeing how much he loved the house. We had photos of it in our house. And so his dedication to it and his enthusiasm is kind of infectious. So it sucks me in, and that's what keeps coming back to help. So.
Mm-hmm. And coming up on December 21st, you guys are having a Christmas celebration. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about that?
It's actually one of our more favorite events that we have during the year. We have volunteers that come out and help us decorate the house before Christmas. Our Christmas events are for the kids. So we have kids come out, come with their parents. They get to have like a tour inside of the house. We have Santa. The kids get candy canes. They get to talk to Santa. Santa's amazing. He sits there and he listens to the kids. It's not just like oh, hi, one and done and you're through. He sits there, he talks to the kids. We have Mrs. Claus as well. And it's just a very fun event. We have volunteers that come out with fire pits so you stay warm outside while you're waiting. Yeah. And it's just a really good event.
That sounds so special. And last question, I just have to ask you, do you think that the wood house is haunted?
Personally, me, yes, I think it is. Yes.
I mean, how could it not be?
Yeah. I know. We have some pictures of what may not be a ghost in the window, but yes.
Ooh, you'll just have to visit the wood house for yourself and see.
Yes.
Well, Becky, thank you so much for coming on our show this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. Now, the wood house is a piece of Rogue Valley history built in 1870, and you can visit during any one of their annual events or take a tour by appointment. Coming up Saturday, December 21st is their old-fashioned Christmas event featuring the man in red himself, Santa Claus. For more information about the history of the wood house or how you can support their efforts with a donation, visit oldwoodhouse.org. Once again, Becky, thank you so much for being on our show this morning.
Thank you.
Of course. We'll be right back.